All right, guys, welcome into another SFX Trading Group stream. It is 6:55, October 28th. We're just actually in the middle of breaking down GJ right now. But as you can see, guys, as we reached 158, 200, 158 flat, we ended up rejecting over here on the weekly, and then we now have that support formed with this wick to potentially fill. But is this candle going to close above support over here? And like I said, this is the weekly currently in this range from here down to 156. This is that range of what we were seeing in the same price range right over here as we did back in 2013 during that market recovery. So we reach this area. Are we going to end up consolidating in here and then pushing through next month once they do increase interest rates, if they even do, right? They've been talking about increasing interest rates way before any kind of tapering of the bond buying, which is a little premature, but we'll see. Actually, just so you guys know, last night, what happened with Canada is that they started tapering their bond buying. I don't want to say prematurely. I don't think that's the right word to use because they've been talking about doing that. But what they did do is they did it unexpectedly. Not many people expected them to do that. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But over here, again, we're holding that support, but will we hold that support by tomorrow? Or are we going to break below 156 and continue down? Looking at the daily, we keep rejecting that area like we were just talking about over here. So let's see what it looks like on the 4 hour. 4 hour still holding support in here, right? I don't want to trade anything in here. This is like a no trade zone. But the last time we retested 156 over here, we printed a bullish big belt right over here. This candle opens up several pips below the close of the previous candle, and it closes a strong engulfing bullish candle. When you get a bullish big belt like that, most of the time on the higher time frames, price will continue in that direction, which it did, right? We got a nice move. Pay attention to that on the higher time frames, not so much the lower time frames. You may get it on the lower time frames, but it's a much weaker confluence, much weaker confluence compared to the higher time frames. But that's how it is on every other time frame with any other setup. But right now we're in the area. I think we're kind of grabbing orders, consolidating a little bit. This is a very strong level over here. That's why if you take a look at the chat from yesterday, I was telling Gary to just be aware of this level right over here. This is a very, very strong level. This is what we've been waiting for, prior to breaking 156. We've been waiting for this for months, right? Since we were down at like 140, 142 in that area, we were waiting for 156 because we knew price was going to eventually reach that area with the market recovery. So now we're holding 156 as a support now. So, be careful trying to take a sell in any area like this, like where these wicks are starting to break the support over here. Be aware in this area and just make sure that you're taking smart trades. Now, we have a support formed or respected over here, a higher low as well with a strong engulfing bullish candle. But again, we rejected 156, 400, right? Previous support, now resistance. We keep rejecting this area. So we need to close above that area. Looking at the 1 hour, this is obviously a strong area right over here. I'd rather wait for price to break 156, 500 in this area. If we start to break and close above this area right here, I think we may have some safe buys to continue right back up. We are below both EMAs over here on the 1 hour, right? So we're kind of consolidating. These EMAs are pushing sideways and not really trending. There's not like a solid trend over here. So now basically price is just trying to figure out what it wants to do after breaking 156. Are we going to continue up, or did we break 156 off the rumors of increasing interest rates? Now they haven't increased interest rates yet. So now what we're going to do is be grabbing orders in this area before they actually do it. Make sense? So now we're waiting for price to break out of 156 and 156, I would say 500. Honestly, we could probably just move this right here, because I'm not going to be taking anything inside here anyway. So you get a clean move right up here. Our next target. Always mark off your next targets. It's going to be 157 flat. How many pips do we have in here? About 50 pips. Once we break support over here, I know we have a clean move right over here, right back down to 155, 400. So right over there, we got probably the same amount of pips. So you got 54. So that's all we're waiting for. Just price to break out of here. You see these wicks? See these small candle bodies? You don't want to be trading in something like that. There's a lot of indecision in that. No volume. Price just kind of figuring out where it wants to go, grabbing orders until we get some volume pushing in, and that pushes us right out of there. So let me just actually write this down real quick. Before I forget. So any questions on GJ right now? No?
Nope.
All right. Cool. So looking over here at gold. Fix this. There you go. I was trying out the dark settings over here. What's up, Chris?
What up, Steph?
My man. Are you trading gold at all this week?
Yeah, I caught a 100 pip move yesterday.
Oh wow. Awesome. What, off this candle?
I caught it. I caught it once. It retested 1885. It was in Athens. Let me tell you exactly.
1885.
17.
Oh. I was like, not yet.
1785. Around what time did it hit it? It was during the day yesterday, and I seen it hit it again, and I just hopped in it.
Wow. And so
It
you
was
got that wick rejection.
Huh? Yeah, so it was yesterday. I got in. Let me see if you're on a chart. Can you go to the 4 hour?
Of course. Ah, beautiful.
Yeah, once it hit 1880, like literally once I seen it touch it again, I just hopped in because it was just a strong level, and I marked it off as, a buying level. I was like, if it hits there, it's gonna shoot up, because it did. Like how many other times? 3 times. So if you look at the 2 4-hour candles before that, it hit a 1785 and just went up. Hit it, just went up. So I just was like, let me see. Hold on, I'm in my yeah. So hold on, is it that one? It was so you move up. It was these.
Which?
So can you move over to the right? Yep. No, to the right more. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I can't even see. No, it was the 2 before. I'm sorry, to the.
I'm gonna zoom in.
You see at the support? You see that 4-hour support? Yeah. So those 3 candles. So that candle that hit and flew all the way up. That's what Yep. That's the That was my candle that I got to buy on.
Awesome. What made you, get in on that?
My support, just because I seen it hit it. Like, you see all these other wick. I seen it at 1885. It was just a massive, rejection upward. Like, it hit it and go.
Yeah.
So I would just, I put my stop loss was about 30 or 25 pips in.
What, below these wicks?
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, my stop loss was below the wicks, and I just was like, I'll manage it, close 50%. But I was so confident, like I was very confident. I knew it was gonna go back up.
Yeah. That's what you want to be, that confidence. Not overconfidence, but you want to know your pair like that and know, like, all right, we're tapping into this area one more time. We know it's gonna probably reject.
And then it was, we had news going. I feel like didn't news go our way? Well, it put the dollar a little weaker.
Yeah. Let's take a
look.
Tiffany, what's up?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Good morning, Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I wanted to introduce you to everyone. We got Chris and Steve in here right now. Everyone else is sleeping, I guess.
What's that? They missing out.
Yep. Early bird gets the worm. That's on them. Let's see. What did come out yesterday? Oh, durable goods orders.
You remember I asked about that on the stream, and I was like, "Will it, move?" And I seen it was mostly.
I remember that.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, so we had a couple things coming out yesterday. Today we do have advanced GDP coming out, and unemployment coming out at 8:30. So we should get some good volume. We'll see what it does to gold, but gold's been doing the same thing it's been doing, right? Ever since tapping into 1720, we've just been creating these new highs, consolidating, grabbing orders, and then continuing up to retest that high to create a new one, right? Coming right back down, respecting the trend, holding support, and retesting the previous high. Create a new high, come down, reject, consolidate, or hold support, and then retest that high. So let's say we get some negative news coming in, it's going to push gold up a little bit. But that was beautiful, Chris. This little. Now, did you take this based on the 4-hour or the lower time frames?
So I was basing it. So now I'm just looking at. I start off weekly, daily, 4-hour, and I just look to see buying zones, selling zones. Because gold moves so hard, it moves so crazy that I'm looking for the supports and the major supports and the major resistances. So that's what really led me to take that trade. Like, that's how I'm looking at gold more so on the higher time frames more. And then I'll drop down, to the hour. And, even the 5-minute, I'll drop all the way down just to get a precise, entry. But I'm really basing all my trades now off weekly, daily, and 4 hours.
Absolutely. That makes sense.
That's where my zones I set from I set my zones from the weekly, and I put from the daily then.
Yeah, and you don't adjust them as you go down to like the 30-minute.
I don't. What I do is instead of moving my zones, I'll put a horizontal line.
Got it.
And I still have my quarter point, so I try to make it not as. I race it every morning and redo it because sometimes it get messy.
It's good practice too.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So Tiffany, we just broke down the charts. So where are you right now? I know you're into the course. Do you have any questions yet so far that we could go over on the Zoom?
Yeah, so I'm used to pretty much trading within the channel, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
So finding the support and resistance is relatively new to me. Okay. So I was practicing that. I know it's a novice thing, but all night I was just practicing, finding where the support and resistance or supply and demand would be.
Awesome.
I did it on EJ and also GJ.
Okay, perfect. Do you have a chart right now that you can send in, and then I'll take a look at it, review it, and then I'll do a full breakdown of GJ again. I'll erase everything and then start drawing everything the way I look at it.
Absolutely. Where do you want me to send it to you?
So what you can do is if you go into your trading view, are you on your computer or are you using Zoom on your phone?
I'm using it on my phone right now, but I'm not too far from my computer.
Okay. Well, what you could do is go to your computer, hit this camera button in the top right, copy chart image right over here. And then what you could do is send it in the DMs on SFX on Slack, or you could do it in the New York session, whatever you want to do.
All right, I'm going to send it to you now.
Cool. I think that's the best way to do it. Or copy link to the chart image. Either one. Did you like that mental foundation part?
I did. Thank you.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, gold is a mess. And Tiffany, what pairs do you trade? Do you just trade GJ and EJ?
I really just trade GJ. I used
Okay.
EJ as a little bit of practice. I used to trade GJ and gold, but as you're saying, it's a mess.
Yeah.
I took a little bit of a loss, so I just fell back from
Okay.
gold. It's been about almost 2 weeks now.
Okay. Oh, so it's only been 2 weeks since you walked away from gold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it's okay still to have gold in your back pocket. I don't know if you remember what I was talking about yesterday, but it's definitely good to have two pairs, one main pair, like that's your main thing, and then you have that secondary pair that you're constantly back testing, not constantly back testing, but live back testing, which means you're looking at the price and you're guessing where price is going to go, and you're journaling these trades that you're missing, right? Like that's something that you should have is that secondary pair. Just in case, let's say GJ is in a range the way gold is right now, right? Where you really just don't want to be trading in the higher time frame range like gold is in right now. So what you do is you have that secondary pair where you've been looking at it for 2, 3, 4 months, and you're getting more and more comfortable with it to put more money on the line with it. That's why I think two pairs is that perfect sweet spot. So it's okay to walk away from gold for a little bit, but don't hesitate coming back to it. Like for me, I trade GJ and gold, and I haven't traded gold in a couple months or a couple weeks. Not that I would completely scrap it, but I'm just gonna sit on the sidelines a little bit and watch this happen.
That's true. I should still be doing my markups and stuff. And
yeah, it's still practice. So let's see what we got. GJ's price still in this range. Not sure if we're gonna get anything today. Just because GJ is just sitting in here, and I don't know if we're gonna have the volume on a Thursday to push us out. Guys, keep in mind Thursday is normally a day. A lot of people think of this as Friday, but a lot of banks use Thursday as mitigation where they're just about done with their move for the week, right? So the week, let's say the whole week price is trending. Think about Thursday. A lot of people want to, let's say we're trending up and we've been in a major bullish trend. And Thursday, people want to jump in and get right in. A lot of times you'll get stopped out or you'll lose that trade buying at the top because on Thursday, a lot of banks take that profit and you end up losing. So just be aware on Thursdays as far as any kind of mitigation from banks. So yeah, we just have unemployment coming out. Pre-markets aren't looking too well. I was trying to this out. I love the dark. I mean, I use this for a lot of my apps. Like on Instagram, you can choose between dark and light. I always choose the dark, and us being early in the morning, I kind of want this dark background, but I really like my whole journal is all with the white background. I can't seem to bring myself to change it.
That's the image of your soul.
What was that?
That's the image of your soul.
Yes.
Your dark.
I guess so. Yeah, like I want to be able to use the dark. It's so nice. It's easy on the eyes. Tiffany, were you able to figure that out?
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm trying to maneuver between my laptop and my cell phone.
Sure, no rush. let's see. I wanted you guys. This is what I was talking about yesterday on the stream with Sharma. Is this newsletter? Highly recommend you guys subscribe to this. It's free. You don't have to pay a dime for it. But they send you 3 of these every single day. The Asia edition, Europe edition, and American edition. And it just takes you through like what's going on right now. Good morning. Shell's activist investor, UK budget. Putin orders more gas to Europe and a US billionaire tax. Here's what's moving the markets. And it just like goes into depth what each of these things are. And you could just, catch up. You don't have to pay $34 a month for Bloomberg. This is just like something that you may want to subscribe to that gets sent right to your email. This is what's coming up, what we've been reading, and you could check on these articles. And these articles you actually have to pay for if you want to read the full thing. And then, what some of their investors or analysts are thinking for the session. What a mess. Chris, how about them Knicks?
Boy, they look, man. Them Knicks look good, man.
I don't know if they look good or Philly just look terrible.
Man, I just think the Knicks is on fire, man.
Yeah. I think it's a combination of both. I think the Knicks are really just doing the right things. I love Thibodeau's approach, where, like every year is different. He's like, I don't care what happened last year. Like this year, we're coming in with the same attitude, where we're just going to work. It doesn't matter. And I love that approach as a coach.
Yeah.
He's the man. But yeah, Philly looks lost. Embiid's out there by himself. Got a slow session today. Let me actually go up to the monthly over here on GJ and I'll erase all this. Do a full breakdown so we truly understand what's going on with it. Tiffany, do you use trend lines at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I do, but I don't use them only in the MT4. I actually use just the trend line by itself, but in TradingView, I use it as a channel.
Okay. So you use like the double channel, like one of these?
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So many tools on TradingView. So many. Half you don't even know how to use them. If you go through the Baby Pips University, you ever go through that?
I did when I first started. I used Baby Pips and I used it as a way to get foundational knowledge.
Yeah.
But it's been a while. I haven't been back on Baby Pips since.
Did you get through the whole university?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't do the whole thing.
One thing, now that you just went through the mental foundation part, you saw the daily must video?
Yes, I did.
Cool. So for that daily must, things that you need to get done every single day, not necessarily the to-do list of things like, all right, I got to get these things done. The daily must list is things that must get done every single day, like back testing, stuff like that. But one of them could be one lesson of Baby Pips per day. Takes you maybe 2 minutes to get through the whole article, 2 or 3 minutes. And you just read through it and you just check that off. right? And you get through the full thing. But a lot of good stuff is in there. A lot of junk, I would say, as well, just because there's just a ton of indicators that they're teaching you how to use. But it gives you that basic knowledge of what these indicators actually are, so that what you can do right now and what you're doing with us is kind of like unlearning to relearn, where you're kind of erasing some of these indicators and stuff like that, and you're just learning price action for now, and then you can go ahead and add some of that later. But like I'm teaching you how to read candles and wicks so that you can use whatever strategy that you want.
Nice.
You got
Thank
Gio
you.
coming in. Yeah, of course.
All right, I'm sending this over to you now. I had to install the Slack application onto my laptop.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So it took me a little while. So I'm sending it now to you.
It's a pretty cool app on a computer or desktop. It's very organized.
Yes.
Like I pay monthly for this, but I was thinking about going over to Discord because Discord is free, but like I'd rather just pay and have the organization, and it just seems like more sleek than Discord is. That makes sense. Gio, what's up, brother?
What's up, man? How's it
How
going?
are you? Good. How about yourself?
Doing good.
Awesome. Just want to introduce you to Tiffany, a new member in the group. Tiffany, this is Gio.
Hey, Tiffany. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Gio. Nice to meet you as well.
Gio's out in California. Long Beach. Is it Long Beach?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Nice.
You know who I always get mixed up, which I don't anymore? It was Stipe and Matej. Both you guys are from Slovenia and Croatia. And I kept mixing both of you guys up. Not like who you guys actually are, just where you guys are from.
Yeah, I know. It's a small country, so.
Yeah, and they're right next to each other.
Yeah, we're neighbors.
Would you say it's like, I think we went over this, like the same kind of a population, like the same kind of people?
Maybe same origins.
Like same interests and stuff like that?
Not really, but similar.
Yeah.
Let's say similar.
Okay.
Because historically, both nations are kind of coming from the same area. So.
Sure.
And for a lot of years, they lived in one country. So.
Yeah. For years, they were one country.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So same cultures you guys probably have.
Very similar.
That's pretty cool. So taking a look over here at Tiffany's chart of GJ. And I like it. So you marked off 158 as the resistance. You want to just like break this down for us and explain what you were thinking, and then I'll break down my GJ.
Yeah, sure. So when I come to the chart, firstly, I try to look for the supply and demand levels for the day, pretty much, right? The absolute highs and low of. I start from the weekly and then I go to the daily on that.
Okay.
So here we are at around the 158.05 level. And I marked that off as because it was the high, the last high.
Yep.
So I know if price goes back to that level, it's more likely to reject, right? So currently where we are, it's like in a highlight, right? As far as the candlesticks are concerned, I was expecting price to fill that wick to make a low, but it never did. Price ended up pulling back up.
This candle right here?
The second one. I was expecting price to fill it, but it didn't.
Exactly. That's what I meant. I meant like this wick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did go in on a trade, actually. and I went in for a buy. I'm expecting price to go up to at least the 157 level.
Okay. So you're in a buy right now?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'm in a
So
buy based on if I were to drop down to the 4-hour, and which I because I work, it's easier for me to swing.
yeah. No, absolutely. So I'll explain. I'm gonna break down GJ. Now, were you on the stream yesterday while we were breaking down? I know you were on there, but were you doing?
But you know what? It's funny for me. I could see your markup, but unless I have my chart like right in front of me, doing it simultaneously, then I remember exactly where everything is. I was able to follow along with you guys yesterday, but then when I looked at my own chart, I got confused.
It's funny you say that. I remember being in that same exact spot, like having to watch Raquel at the same time on my screen and then being like trying to chart my own chart at the same time, not trying to copy his, but at the same time, kind of, I guess, just because that made sense to me. I was just like really in the beginning. So that's funny you say that. I remember being in that same spot. But if you look over here at GJ, we're looking at the monthly. You could actually look at the 3-month right over here as well. And you can see that we're holding a solid support over here. But what are we holding that support from, right? That support was formed from the 2008 market crash, right? So we ended up coming right back down to 120 and holding a support. And one thing that you guys all have to understand about currencies is that currencies traditionally consolidate. This is the 3-month chart. So this goes all the way back to 94. And you see that we haven't been in a trend. We basically stay in the same price range the entire time. It's not like stocks. Stocks traditionally, you're going to see stocks continue to rise up. Even when we have these corrections over here, we're still trending up. That's how it goes, right? With inflation and everything else driving the stock market up, right? So when it comes to currencies are different. Currencies traditionally, you'll have your major trends, coming up, but then we'll end up crashing over here. So it's traditionally printing sideways. Let's get rid of this. Now, over here on GJ, we ended up having this 2008 market crash. Price ended up recovering, right? We're in a recovery phase, and I'll point out what exactly, why we're looking at this in a second. But we had this recovery phase, and then we had Brexit, right? And then we had this market recovery, and then we kind of just ended up consolidating in here, coming right back down to retest that previous low. And then COVID happened with this candle right over here, this 3-month candle. Right, that started in March, our decline count coming all the way back down to this level around 122, and then we've been in a market recovery ever since. But before that, we've been in a multi-month or multi-year downtrend over here, which we're now breaking. Now, I actually want to go to the monthly over here. There we go. So now we're at that multi-year downtrend, right? We're now breaking it over here. Now, trend lines to me, just so that you know, my main confluence is support and resistance, supply and demand, just like you, right? But I do use trend lines. They do help as far as like understanding where the trend is and what price is doing. But the main confluence is support and resistance. That's all you really need. Now, right over here, only because it's not that subjective, support and resistance. Trend lines are very subjective. It's what makes sense to you. Like I saw a couple of your trend lines on there. That's what makes sense to you, right? There's no right or wrong, I would say, with trend lines. It's just kind of what you're looking at and what you see. Now, again, since COVID, we've been in this multi-year downtrend. Or since COVID, we've been in this multi-month bullish trend over here, printing higher highs, higher lows, kind of consolidated in here, but we created this high. We came down, printed that bullish big belt like we were just talking about before, right? And Tiffany, if you don't know what that is, Highly recommend reading Naked Forex. Very good book about technical analysis. One of the only really good books about technical analysis. But when you get a candle like this, where it opens up below the close of this previous candle, whatever direction that candle is in this case, it's a bullish big belt. Sometimes you get it in the opposite direction where it's a bearish big belt. Most of the time on the higher time frames, price will continue in that direction, which it did right over here. The 30-minute, I would take that, like a grain of salt. But when it comes to the 4-hour, the daily, you see any kind of candle open up like this, you're going to get a nice bullish trend. So we ended up retesting that high, continuing all the way back up. Like we were just talking about when we were at 140, 142, we knew that if we were holding the support over here and we were breaking previous resistances, that we were coming right back up to 156. 156 has been a significant level for us that we've been waiting for months now. So we're going to mark that off as a horizontal line since we're on the higher time frames. And we're going to take a look to the left at what 156 was once we mark off our previous support down here as well, which is 149. Now this support is previous resistance of these candles over here, previous rejection areas, right? But we ended up rejecting this area multiple times, holding support, pushing right back up to 156. So if you now look at this, I know I'm going to send a broken record to some of these guys now because we just broke this down. But if you look at this area right over here, what price ended up doing, breaking through 149, creating this high of 156, coming right back down to 149, rejecting multiple times, holding support, and then breaking through 156. Now we're in the same market environment that we were back in 2013, recovering from the 2008 market crash. So this is the same range we're in, and it looks very similar, right? We end up retesting 156, reaching this high, retesting this previous high. It's not always going to look exactly the same, but then we come down to 149 to hold support, retest the previous candle body highs over here, hold support, and then we break right through 156. Very similar price action, right? Not the exact same. It's never going to be, but it's very similar. So now when they're in that market recovery, you're tapering on the bond buying, you are increasing interest rates, stuff like that. That's going to send the currency up. So got a chat in here. Oh, Stipe said the chart. Take a look in a second, brother. So now, are we going to get this close above 156 to end the month? Right? Or are we going to end up rejecting and holding that resistance and end up consolidating in here? Or maybe what we could get is a close below that area. Price comes down to retest this trend line over here, retest the bearish trend over here, hold support in this area, consolidate, and then we continue right back up once they start increasing interest rates next month or towards the end of next month. Let's just take a look at something real quick. Okay. So that is GJ on the monthly. Now,
before you continue, I noticed that 3 months give you a better view as well too, because I was trying to catch the trend on the 1 month and I couldn't catch it completely.
I'm sorry, you said what gives you a better view?
The 3 month.
The 3 months. Yeah, it's just the higher time, the higher you go up in the time frames, the cleaner it tends to get. Right, that's typically how it goes. So the 3 month is it's basically the quarterly. So it's just clean, right? And this is what you're seeing. You got a nice clean move to the left right over here, clean move to the left. This is going to be a nice range once we close above 156, and I would say 160 as well, because we do have a little bit of a consolidation over here. Then we have this whole range. That we're going to make some solid money on. We should all be in this and we should all plan for this as far as like holding a small swing position and we all ride it up together if it makes sense to you. But that's about 1,000 pips right there. And we could keep going right up to fill that candle, which is about 1,500. So we'll see if that's what we get. But looking over here at the weekly, price now ended up breaking 156, creating the high at 158,200, and now rejecting. Now the weekly candle ended up holding support over here. This looked like a perfect formation as this candle was starting to push up and holding support over here. Looked like a perfect formation, end up filling that wick and continuing right back up. But we're rejecting. And now we're wondering if we're going to end the week and end the month on, below or above 156. Now, if you look to the left, all you got to do, you're looking at most recent support and resistance. This is our most recent resistance. You want to look to the left and see if we have any rejection in that area. Get rid of that. And we're going to look at our next target as well. And what we do is we see this wick up here at 160. It's also a psychological level. So we're going to mark that off as well. I like to do horizontal lines on the higher time frames just because once you get down to the lower time frames, these zones end up being like these huge blocks that are like, obstructing your view of anything. So I like to just do the horizontal line. It just makes more sense to me. So we got that 160 level marked off. And then we have the 163, I would say 164 level marked off as well. This next resistance up here. Almost had it. Perfect. So come right back to here. Going down to the daily now. Now we have our resistance, right? Nice clean resistance. We got our support right down here, 156. You can mark that off if you want as a zone. And now we're just kind of hovering in this area. Just give me OCD. I need to move this over here. Perfect. So now we're just kind of in this range where price created that high. And what happened was we broke through 156 and created this high at 158 because the market sentiment was the central bank is going to end up increasing interest rates in November. So this was all based on a rumor, right? Pushing us all the way up to 158. Now we're in this recovery phase, this little correction phase, bringing us right back down to 156 based on the fact that they didn't increase interest rates yet. So once they do, we're going to end up consolidating in here a little bit before they end up increasing interest rates. And you'll get that bounce off 156 if we stay above to continue up, retest 158 and head up right for 160, right? But now that we're in this area over here, we're in a range, basically a higher time frame range between here. We're not really trending over here. You can see this EMA over here, this 50 EMA is starting. It wasn't a bullish trend. Now it's starting to point sideways, right? We are still above the 200 EMA. Obviously, we're going to be above that for a long time, just because it's GJ and we've been pushing up for months now. But now we're below the 50 EMA over here, and we're kind of consolidating in here, right? We had a nice strong move right back down to 156 where we ended up rejecting and holding support, previous support over here. And now we're holding support right now. But what we had last time was the same exact thing I was talking about, a bullish big bell. This candle opens up a couple pips below the previous candle, and we end up closing an engulfing bullish candle, and we end up in this bullish trend, pushing right back up, looking like we were going to fill this wick up here on the higher time frames. And we ended up rejecting 157,600, significant level over here, and pushing all the way back down to 156. But now we're kind of consolidating in this area. We're at 156 again. What does price want to do? It's trying to figure that out. Now, this is a significant area right over here where we've rejected that resistance multiple times. Looked like we were holding support over here, right? And we were going to push above, maybe close above this level. Got a clean move to the left to continue right back up to 157. But we again rejected. We've rejected multiple times in this range. Now, Tiff, this is a range right here. This is something that even if you are swinging, and I understand that you're trying to get in at 156 to take this thing up, but just you don't want to be trading in this. You don't want to be stuck in this. there's going to be a time where you're going to realize, like, you know what, it's just not worth being stuck in the zone like this, or stuck in a range. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The sooner that like starts to make sense to you, the better you're off, or the less money you'll lose, basically. So just wait for price to break out of these lower time. This is actually the 4 hour, so you definitely don't want to be in a 4 hour range. Wait for price to break out and close above these levels before you get in. Now, I know it's like, I want to get in at the best price possible, but guess how much room you have to work once you do break this zone. Get about 60 pips right here, right? We break 156. What's our next level? Got a clean move. Next level is right here. That's how simple trading is. Just looking at the next level where a price can go, looking for the clean moves and trading in those moves, trading in that area. So, what's it called? We got about 55 pips once we break 156 to be trading in that. So you let the banks, you let the big players, you let, a lot of people that lose, you let them sit in here and try to grab this move out of here, trying to get the best price possible. And then you sit here and just ride the wave of the bank, taking these little ranges right over here. Now, typically, I'm sorry, what was that?
No, I was saying, got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Typically, I just forgot what I was going to say. I don't know. It'll come to me. But, oh, yeah, that's right. Typically, these ranges, like not so often on the 4 hour that we're looking at this. We're normally looking at this on like the 30-minute, the 15-minute, a range like this, and waiting for that to break out. But now that this is like a 4 hour range over here, you can take a nice swing trade once we break out of here, right? You can take a nice intraday trade where you take it in the morning and it lasts all day, and you maybe close it at market close, or you close that runner. But right now in the lower time frames, price is really ranging in here, and you're just waiting for price to break out. So I'm not really looking to trade anything in here. The one thing I was looking at was, it's actually just that. We have our next level right up here. Perfect. 52 pips. One thing I was looking at is this formation over here. Sometimes you can play the ranges, Tiff. Like if price is bouncing off a support over here and it is a clean range, and like price reaches this resistance over here and you have that resistance. I mean, but at this point, price isn't necessarily a range because we're now creating this lower high over here, right? To then come down and retest this low, right? So it's things like this you can play. And then if you get a clean support formed over here, price in that little range, breaking resistance, retesting it and continuing right back up, you can maybe play this right back up to 156,500. But this is something that you really want to lower your risk on and not do it too often, right? You just want to wait for price to break out of that range. But what I was looking at is price holding 156,400 as a resistance right over here. And then if you look at the 15-minute, what you have is these lower highs over here, price holding this resistance over here, this candle creating its top wick, passing the low of that candle, potentially looking at that 7 o'clock volume to push us right back down and mirror these candles right here, mirror this candle right here, and take us right back down to 156 flat. And what would that have been? We took this as we passed the low of that wick. That would have been 13 pips right there. If you wanted to be a little bit more conservative and wait for price to break 156,200 right here, and that wick specifically, that's 11 pips right there with your stop loss above this candle. But again, these are little plays that you could get, but I'd rather just wait for price to break out of this whole thing, especially like having a good week, right? You don't want to blow any kind of profits. This is something that you massively lower your risk on and just kind of play this or live back test this. This is something that you can journal and look for multiple times 2, 3, 4 times and then start taking. Let's check out Stipe's chart. Ah, there we go. See that? It's exactly what we were just saying. Beautiful, Stipe. You with us?
Yeah,
Sorry, I muted myself.
Oh, it's all good. No, I was talking to Stipe with this move right over here.
But I got stepped out on 5 minutes because I'll annotate for a second on this thing.
You got stopped out with the runner,
Yeah.
or
So here at this point, I moved stop loss to break even, because when we broke these lower wicks, we should expect that price will continue dropping down.
yep, right into this
You
area.
have nothing to search about in this red zone. So I mean, in this stop loss. So stop loss must be at break even, and I closed around 75% at, just a second, let me find the, where's the rectangle on oh, okay.
The drawing.
Yeah, in this area, I was about to close some part of something, part of my position. So I closed around 75 or 80% of position and moved my stop losses here. And I got stepped out.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
So you didn't secure anything at all, but what you did was move it.
No. I secured because the price continued in this area. It kind of even break these lows over here.
Wait, did you enter right here? Or you entered up here.
Up there.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, perfect. So your runner got stopped out in profit.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
At around 10 pips.
As I was saying, like, obviously, if you want to play this range and you know your pair well enough, go ahead. You know, it's your money, your account. Right over here, when you're playing these ranges, for me personally, what I'm doing is closing the full trade. Right? I reach my pip count. I close the full thing. Unless I think price is about to break a resistance or a support, I'm gonna close that full thing. Like if I entered up here and price ended up coming down here, maybe I would enter another position over here, anticipating price to mirror this whole area right over here.
I was about to do it, but I kind of wanted to make an entry in 5 minutes, but it just continued dropping without any wicks, so I stayed out.
Yeah, no, I got you.
I was good with that one position.
That's awesome.
I was about to add one, but there was no setup good enough for adding more. Yeah.
I mean, with me, what I would have done, as you were probably just watching, was enter as this 15-minute created its top wick, and then pass the low
of that one
previous wick right here.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where I would have entered that with my stop loss right up here. Actually,
yeah,
let's make that.
It was kind of a very messy movement on 1 minute. So if you check it in 1 minute, it's really a mess. So I wasn't confident enough to add anything. It was really choppy.
I got you.
Even in 5 minutes.
100%. So yeah, I mean, I like how you managed it. I like how you move your stop loss into profit. That's awesome. The only thing is, like, this is the way I would have entered this, and I would have closed the full thing right here. As soon as we filled this area and finished it off, close the full thing, and I'm done. Yeah. Like that's my little scalp. That's my little take from the market. Like, I just won that trade and I'm done. I'm fine. I'm content. And that's the mindset that you have to have when you're playing these ranges. But good job, buddy.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. So let's see. Yeah, man, I want that dark background. It's much better. It's so bright.
Yeah, it's killing.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. It's just like, when you have a full journal, right? And the whole
in white.
Yeah, and I have a little OCD, so like I need everything the same. I don't want everything to just kind of like change like that. Um, let's take a look at the group Trello over here.
You also need to change the markup colors because it's not that the blue one you're using for the zones won't be kind of as much as visible as it is on white background. So
yeah, you have to change the candle,
everything.
the candle colors and everything.
No, they're okay. They're okay. Candle colors are okay.
Let's see.
I'm using pink for zones. It's kind of really obvious on the dark background. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't see any of your zones on here yet.
No, it was just a quick snaps to show you. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, there you go. What's this? What's this P? Why is Pat on here? I use
But I think that, sorry.
So let's see. Do we have anybody? We got Tiger and we have Carlos. Nathan as well. Nathan, I don't know if you guys read in the chat on Slack, he lost like 15 grand on crypto.com.
Who?
Nathan.
Dang.
Yeah, so that's why you guys should get one of these. I don't know if I have it saved over here.
Ledger.
Yeah, Nano Ledger. Yeah, so yeah, Gio, you're the one I was talking to about this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna end up getting one of these. I'm just not in a rush. But this is to hold all your crypto on here instead of like holding it on crypto.com, holding it on Cash App or anything like that. You hold all your crypto on here, and it's like a USB port. So Tiffany, did that breakdown make sense for you as far as levels?
Yeah, it does. I have to be able to notice when I'm at a key level or some kind of institutional level and be able to apply it. In theory, I understand it, but I'm not applying it on my chart.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna click, right? It's just a matter of time. Just watching me doing it every day, doing it yourself every single day, erasing your chart and recharting it. It just takes time. But always just make sure you're starting from the higher time frames, moving down to the lower time frames, and then looking for the most recent support and resistance. Without a doubt, like whenever you have doubt as when it comes to your marking up of charts, just go to most recent support and resistance. That's all. When you start to get like confused, you got too many lines on your chart, stuff like that, just erase everything. Most recent support and resistance. So gold.
This my FX book is I just connected my account to it, and it seems pretty nice thing to
I love my FX book. The only problem is I can't connect my account to it. I've been trying to, and I tried to get like them to hop on a phone call to walk me through it, and they just not that helpful. They only do emails, and they're just not understanding why mine isn't working.
Where did you stuck?
So like the window where you download the EA for Okay, so the window that first pops up after you download the EA and you have to put the either shortcut or anything, that's not popping up. Every time I start to download it, it's not popping up. So it won't recognize my MetaTrader. So it's some kind of technical difficulty.
I had the same problem. I managed to do it.
Okay, so how'd you do it?
So you need to run it. You're using Windows, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna write this down.
I can help on Zoom later if you want 5 minutes. I have
Okay.
time.
I would say tomorrow during our Zoom tomorrow after the stream.
It's okay. Whatever you want.
That might be better.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So yeah, that was a pretty good stream yesterday. First time doing that with Sharma.
Yeah, that was a great stream.
Yeah, we're gonna always looking to improve. Like we got the podcast going as well. So, you know, we always go back and forth as far as like trying to make things better, improve things and operations, stuff like that. So we were just passing ideas back and forth yesterday as far as how we can make it better. That's why I wrote that in the general chat, just to get like your feedback, to see what you guys were saying.
Okay. I thought it was great though, having both of y'all insight on the pairs, you know, DJ and Gold that we trade.
I love how you're calling people out in New York. It's awesome. Where we at, fellas? Chris?
Huh?
I was laughing at how you were calling everyone out in the New York chat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, where we at? It was only me, you, and Tip at the beginning, but we in here now. So.
Oh yeah. Steve Bay's been in here too. Let's see. What do we think Bitcoin's heading?
Ooh. To the moon now.
The moon, yeah. Oh no, not Trello. Trading View.
I think that we need to wait for this weekly candle to close. If it closes bearish, then there's a higher chance to go back down.
Which are you talking about Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna create a chart for Bitcoin. Well, not Bitcoin, but crypto. I went for indices and Forex. Awesome. So we'll do this. Template, mainline chart. Let's see something.
Doesn't if you trade crypto maybe?
I see that's not my expertise, just because I was explaining this to somebody the other day where you know, when it comes to anything, you want to become the best at one thing and then, you know, spread your tentacles from there. Where like if you're in business and let's say you're at your age right now and you're looking at some 50-year-old who has like, let's say 20 different businesses right now that he's running, and you're like just wondering how he got to where he's at. So most of these people, I would say 95% of them started out with one area that they specialized in, and then they moved out from there. And then they started investing in real estate, started investing in different, I think Tiffany, we were talking about this on your first Zoom, but we're, you know, when it comes to Forex alone or the markets alone, let's say you're a trader, right? You want to have that specialty that you're looking at. So Forex is my specialty, right? And Forex and commodities. So what I'm looking at is I want to master this before I start moving into crypto and start using my time to invest in the crypto and stuff like that. So, you know, crypto was something that doesn't have much history yet. I'd rather focus on fiat currencies and trading these and then move into crypto, which is now something that I'm starting to dig into and read about, newsletters, articles online, stuff like that. So trying to get into it.
Yeah, I was just telling that because I've seen that some people that I know about that even come from the same circles as you, but with that I mean from Rajas and TED circles, people who learn from them, that they traded XRP and Bitcoin using the only technical analysis without any fundamental. And it kind of seems that let's say I'm looking at 15-minute chart on Bitcoin. It kind of moves without as much as manipulation like the other fiat pairs move. So there's no many fake out. There's kind of more almost like a perfect downtrends or uptrends, looking at lower time frames, 15, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, and when daily candles start to push in one direction, then you can kind of just look for high highs, high lows, and the opposite thing, and you can scalp kind of a lot from it. But I was trying to trade it with IC market, just 0 point, the lowest lot size available, but the spreads are huge and it's not worth it.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm just getting yeah, I mean, Bitcoin is like the, I don't know if you could compare it to this, but like the Dow Jones kind of, where that's like the mother lode. That's the main coin, I would say.
Yeah.
And everything else is kind of like a gamble.
Yeah.
But I like what Jaden sent into the crypto channel. Oh, you know what, Tiffany? I think I need to add you to, like, Tiffany, if you could tell me, are you on do you have videos? Yeah, Tiffany's on there.
Yeah, I'm here. Say it again.
I just want to make sure you're in every single channel, because when I first started the group and opened the group, the original people that came in here were originally added to all of these. But now for some reason, like, I added more channels to the Slack. Like I've added, I would say, like 6 to 7 new channels to the Slack. When I add new people into the group, they don't automatically get added to these channels. So I have to manually go in and add them in.
Okay, let me take a look.
I think you are. I think I did it. I just forgot if I added you in here. Let's see. What's the new one I did? No, fundamental chat is a pretty new one. Tiffany. Yeah, you're in there. I think I did.
Thank you.
Of course. Oh, also, little plug for Jaden. Jaden has been a good friend of mine. We met in a different company that we were both with, and he was also a trader. He's actually one of the people that told me about trading, like, before, and he really specializes in crypto right now, where that's kind of like his niche. That's what he's like. Same thing with me with Forex. So he actually started a new group on Discord. So if you guys wanted to join, it's in the crypto channel. It looks like Chris is in.
Yeah, I just joined.
Awesome. Yeah, me
Really
too.
easy to join.
I jumped in there. I haven't really looked through it yet, but I just joined. But what he did was he said, "Here's my updated list for my crypto portfolio. I know it's a lot. It's juicy. It's a juicy mix, but I don't. He's not going to explain why he's in these, but it's probably good for you if you want to get into crypto. Just go research some of these coins and try to figure out for yourself. Why would somebody be in one of these, right? So, he's in Shibu, he's in Bitcoin, Cardano, XRP, Ethereum. I think, what was he saying? XRP or Ethereum is like the most stable one. I forget. Yeah, but I think XRP alone will make people wealthy, depending on what you do. So yeah, it's very similar to GJ right now, right? We're holding over a major resistance. We reached this new high. Then we came right back down to that major resistance to hold support. But are we going to hold support or break below? All right, so that's the weekly on Bitcoin. Actually, price did break below that area. Just move this up right over here. You have our support right here. And price so far is holding that support, which is good. Yeah, I bought a little bit more at this dip. See, Tiffany, how I'm doing just most recent support and resistance? Because as you go down from the higher time frames, it gets a little confusing. So you just go down, newest support, obviously historical high up here, and then you just go based on that. So now we're starting to push up and get a new, this area right over here. Price gonna reach that. All right. So GJ is still playing in this range over here. We're starting to break down again a little bit. See what we look like on the 5 minute. See, this is just very sticky to play in. A lot of people lose their money on Thursday. A lot of people lose profits on Thursdays and Fridays. It's typically how it goes. Just because they're trying to jump into stuff like this. They see that, like, in the last day or two, we haven't had much of a move on GJ. Maybe GJ is the only pair that they trade, and they're trying to manufacture some of these moves. They're trying to jump into these moves that really aren't there. Manufactured setups, I like to call them. But I do think this was a good move. If you were going to trade in any of this, you see the move right here, see the move right here. You take this as we break down, like we broke down before. Remember, guys, unemployment's coming out. $8.30. Gio, how's the business been? Always like to check up on you.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The sushi business, how's it been? You still been traveling?
Not lately, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, our supplies are running low. Like all of our stuff they're saying that they're at the port, but most of our stuff are frozen. So I don't think there's a way for them to unload it, and leave it somewhere unless they have a outlet where to plug it in. So I don't know what's happening. Running out of a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're saying that it might be cheaper for cargo ships to reroute, go through the Panama Canal, and come in through Florida.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
then
trying
to
bring
be
it to
sitting
East
out.
Coast,
Yeah, to be sitting out in the Pacific
Mhm.
and just waiting. They might be better off taking that trip. That's got to be a long trip. That's so long. Look
Yeah,
at
we have over 300 stores already that their back orders is being held. I
terrible.
think by the end of the week there'll be about 500 stores.
Terrible.
Because we have over 4,000 locations.
Yeah, all over the US. Or is it mainly
yeah.
out in California?
No, all over the US. So, and then we have some in Canada as well.
Do you have any in New York?
We have in New York.
Jersey?
Yeah, we have in Jersey before. We have Price Chopper.
What is it?
No, not Price Chopper. Hold on. Oh, I forget. What was your main supermarket in there?
ShopRite?
ShopRite? No.
ShopRite's a big one up here. We have Wegmans, ShopRite, Whole Foods.
Wegman.
Wegmans. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got the sushi in there.
We used to have it. I don't know if we still have it. I haven't been to Jersey in a while.
Okay.
And then up north, by New York, like Massachusetts area, we have a Big Y.
Okay. Yeah, I want to try it at some point.
Oh, Jersey. We have we're also in university, Montclair University, Princeton.
Oh, Montclair. Okay.
And then we have also in what is that? Macbar, AFB. What is this place?
Yeah, Montclair is probably hour 15 from me.
And then we have in Camden County College.
Okay. Tiffany, where were you from again? In Jersey?
I'm here in Totowa, so Montclair is literally about 20 minutes away from me.
Nice. There you go. You familiar with Kane University?
Yeah, it's in Union.
Yeah. I played football up there.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, living in Elizabeth. I'm curious if GJ drops over here once passing this wick, if it actually reaches 10 pips over here. Just a messy zone.
I added one small entry on break of the 15-minute because we,
We're here.
there.
Okay.
This was the setup we were talking about that you and me like it. So we have that wick on 15-minute to fill.
Yeah.
The 4 hour is bearish. The daily is bearish. And we're kind of a good point, but I'm at break even. My stop loss is at break even, so this is a risk-free trade. If it goes down, it goes down. If it goes up, I'm break even and in a profit for the day.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I think that we're going to come down and reach 156 again. Tap into that area. A little tap.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. See, we got this lower high over here as well.
I just wait for 30-minute to break the previous week, and I think we're gonna drop down.
Yeah. There you go. Perfect. So Tiffany, you have any questions so far? No?
No.
Okay. I think it just rejected over here on the 5-minute a little bit.
Yeah, I closed 0.5% at the lows. At the
Oh,
week.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. It looks like gold over here is starting to break up a little bit on a 1 hour.
I closed whole position.
Break above this resistance. Now, just remember, we got data coming out. So
Yeah.
you don't want to be caught in a trade 5 minutes before data comes out.
Yeah, that's why I closed everything.
Not a good position.
Yeah, I would be stopped that.
Tiffany, you know what would be good for you is the breakdowns I do at night for the Asian session and, moving into London. I post it into the analysis chat. If you watch those every night, that'll help you with charting and stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I'll take a look tonight.
Awesome. Let's see my schedule today. Tonight might be a difficult time to post it tonight. Be all over the place. You know what? I'll do an early one. As soon as I get back from the city, around like 3:30. Yeah.
Have you ever, Stephanos, traded on MT4?
On MT4?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I actually still have my simulator on MT4.
Oh, have you noticed that when you close partials, you actually, when you look at the history, you have the whole positions. Each partial closes. I hate it.
It rounds off to the main position.
Yeah, I hate it.
You don't like that?
No, it's so frustrating.
I wonder if there's a setting that you can change with that.
No, I was trying to look at it. No.
Okay.
Okay, GG's going now.
Yeah, there we go.
Drop the lows. Now, when I close everything. Okay.
Close the full thing?
Yep.
Awesome.
I'm okay.
Yeah, at this point, we're going to tap 156.
Yeah.
Now, gold is breaking up over here. What do we expect? I know we're expecting same numbers for unemployment. Advanced GDP, obviously. Oh, my God. GDP previous was 6.7. Now we're 2.6. Not producing anything. It's terrible.
We just touched the 56 and we're dropping further.
Perfect bounce on the 30-minute from the EMA over here. Look at that. Oh, that's a nice move.
We're kind of at the moment where the weekly is about to flip. Maybe that could be a nice push to the downside, because weekly created a huge wick on the upside.
For a GJ?
Yep.
Let's go back to the 30-minute GJ. Yeah, so let's see if we end up breaking below. And if we do, this might be nice because got a nice move right down to 400, 55, 400.
Yeah, and we are at the trend line. If you draw the trend line on 15-minute and connect the lower wicks, the last three.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
saying right over here?
From there to up, yeah, just the top of the wicks. Yeah. And I guess if we break that, we could even come to 155.7.
Yeah, we could. I wouldn't pay too much attention to those wicks. I would just look for a clean close on the higher time frames, like the 1 hour below these wicks.
Yeah.
Right. So if you get a close below those wicks over there, maybe you get the top wick formed for the next candle and a pass of that candle, and we just head right for 400. So again, we're below both EMAs as well. Let me just adjust this. So like 155, 950. I think we need to close below. We may get it. It's a nice move right there. From this wick, what is the 15-minute? Right over here. And like, don't get FOMO over like if you miss this move right here, because you got plenty of move right over here that you could get safer move where you know that you can risk even more on that. Like in here, you wouldn't be risking as much. You shouldn't be in anywhere. But once you break and close below that area, that's where you could get that move. We got our data coming out shortly. Let's get that ready. We also could very well reject this area as well. $155, 900. So this is what I'm looking for. I could very well see us staying in this range and just kind of staying above 156, barely above 156. But you got to look at the weekly candle. Like Thursday is almost done, and the weekly is like all over the place right over here. So what's it gonna do? That's your question. Like, how much more can it move is what I'm saying. Being that it's Thursday. You can continue to range in here, or like I said, on the 1 hour, if we get something like this, then you could take that. But I don't think we're gonna get a candle like that, to be honest with you. I think we're gonna range a little bit in here. And then we could get that drop. I don't know if that's got enough juice. You guys ever drink lemon water and put way too much lemon in?
It's healthy.
It is healthy. Just put way too much in. I could barely drink it. I love
some
lemon.
honey in it.
What's up?
Put some honey in it.
Honey?
Yep.
Honey with the lemon?
Yep.
Okay.
Some
interesting.
people drink lemonade with sugar. I think it's much better with honey.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Kind of different taste.
That's such like a European move. I feel like my family over in Cyprus, they
Now it's
love
kind
honey.
of my revelation.
What was that? You broke up.
I love honey. I have my own, so it's kind of this world. I never.
We're losing you, buddy. Might be the Wi-Fi.
I'm okay now.
There we go. So what were
You
you
said
saying?
something. What were you saying?
I was saying that it just like with the honey, like my family over in Cyprus loves honey. Like, and I just feel like that's a very European thing to do, like put honey on everything.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Depends, you know. If someone like sweet, yeah. But since the sugar is what it is, it's trash, let's say, the refined one, there's no substitution for natural honey. Especially I have my own. My family makes its own honey. We have some bees. It's
That's
just
awesome.
for our family. We have around maybe 100 pounds a year max.
Hmm.
And
That's awesome.
it's something out of this world.
I bet. Now with honey, if you put it in cold iced water, do you taste it as much as you do in like hot tea?
It's not good to put it in hot tea because
it's not?
when you put the honey, also the same thing is with the lemon. You need to avoid putting those two things in hot tea. You need to let it chill down a bit, cool down, and then mix it in, because the heat kills destroys the vitamins in lemon, and also it destroys some benefits of the honey.
Wow. I always thought like if you put honey in like hot water, you see how it like breaks up like that. I just feel like it's becoming the water. It's like kind of blending in with it. And when you put it in cold water, it's like not doing anything. It's just staying in its one.
Yeah, it's melting, but at much slower rate.
Okay. And it keeps the benefits of whatever's in the honey.
Yeah.
The vitamins and all that. Okay.
Yeah. Also, when you I guess you hold the honey in the jars, right? The glass jars.
Yes.
So when the honey is really natural, when you leave the jar on kind of colder place, whoa, damn, the spread on GJ.
We went crazy?
Yeah.
All right, data came out 8:30. See what we got. Gold's
It was
tanking.
like 3, 4 pips, 5 pips on GJ. It's really crazy.
Did we
GA
get
is 2, 3 pips.
Stipe, do you keep something on your chart as far as showing you what the spread is, like the bid and the ask line?
No.
Okay. So what you're
Just-
just looking at on the left?
No, I have the F10 button open right now.
The
You can
what
click
button?
click the F10.
F10. I don't even have an F10. I don't have that
Function
kind of
buffer.
keyboard.
Oh, damn.
Function
You-
10. No, I don't even have that.
Shit. Try opening the, just a second. Enter the keyboard in the Windows search down on the left. You should be able to open that keyboard.
Oh, like that comes with the computer?
Yeah.
Okay. Before I do that, I just wanted to go over the data. So terrible GDP as expected, but even worse than expected. But we did get good unemployment numbers coming out. See what the advanced GDP is. 5.7. Okay. Okay. That's all right. So we had mixed data. Yeah, that's the price index. Mixed data over here on gold. So it's not going to do much, just a little whipsaw. See if we're going to end up rejecting this resistance over here. I did like this this formation right over here. The support formed to retest the high up here. Happened around 637.
That could be a nice liquidity grab on the downside to continue up
Yeah.
on gold.
Yeah, it could be.
That's what it usually does on the news.
Yep. Gold is such a mess.
Yep.
I hate it. I don't enjoy being in this.
I decided I'll try to stay away from gold for 2 weeks and see how I do on GJ.
Yep. I was just telling that to Tiffany. It's, you don't have to completely curb the pair and stop trading it, but it's good to just sit out for a couple weeks. If you don't see anything you like, if you're in a massive range on the weekly, that's a range on the daily and the monthly, but on the weekly, look at this. All sideways price. No trend.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a trend right here, but it's a gradual trend with big wicks. And it's the only thing I did like though was this move right here. I think I pointed this out yesterday. Where after this candle closed, bullish candle, form support, put your stop loss below that candle or even below the previous bearish candle right over there. Give it some room. You're bouncing off the trend line. You have a wick to fill. You have a high to retest, and you come right back up and secure it right up here. That's 270 pips right there. Other than that, not much else. Maybe this one right over here. But again, how do you know that's going to happen when you have all this mess over here? 112 pips. It's 363 pips right there. Which would have been nice. All right. So looking over here at GJ now.
It rejected this area. Nice.
Oh, yeah. Good rejection over here. 30-minute holding support. Yeah, we're just playing in this range. I don't think we're going to. I think maybe what we could do over here is come right back up to the CMA, retest that, and then continue right back down. Retest that area again. This area right here too.
Did you see what happened on Friday with gold when it kind of pushed up after the NYC open and later just dropped down, I think, $25.
This was on Friday.
Yeah. It was crazy drop, like $25. I think I was just looking at it on my phone and what the hell is this?
On the 22nd.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, right over here.
Yeah,
This-
that drop.
I think that this must have been data or just like a correction, like a heavy correction, where a lot of people took profits right up here. For those of you that don't know what these colors are, it's just like the sessions.
Yeah.
They
I
call
have
it
it.
an indicator, but it's not. Yeah, we reached 1810 over here, which is a significant level. Right? Previous resistance, support, resistance over here. So we were reaching a new high and then we ended up just kind of rejecting over here. So what was the data that came out last week? We manufacturing PMI. Powell spoke as well. So maybe Powell was speaking more hawkish. I think he was. But manufacturing services PMI and everything came out 9:45. But I think the main mover was Powell speaking over here. Let's actually take a look at the time. Yeah, 11 o'clock. Powell spoke. Probably talking about tapering in November. So that's what that was. But with price ranging and with that, I am going to head off. It's a great session. I wish we could have caught something. I'm glad Stipe was able to get in some of these little scalps.
Yeah.
Came out on the good end of them. So that's awesome. But guys, have a great day. Tiffany, finish up that course whenever you get the time. I know you got a full-time job, you got your daughter and everything. So I know that's that gets in the way a little bit, but as soon as you can, we'll hop on that second Zoom, put together a plan for you, and we'll start to get on that journey.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. But Gio, have a great day. Keep hustling, brother. Stipe, I'll talk to you soon. Tomorrow we'll have our Zoom, and before that, obviously, we'll be on the stream tomorrow as well. So,
Yeah.
Guys, have a great day, productive day, like always, and I will see you tomorrow.
See you,
All right,
brother.
brother.
See you, boys.
Bye, guys.
Talk to you later.